Welcome back to Dracula Daily, and today with a bit of a longer episode for once, while we continue to join our dear friend Mina Murray. So let's see what's going on in Whippy at this point. August 6th, Mina Murray's journal. Another 3 days and no news. The suspense is getting dreadful. If I only knew where to write or where to go, I should feel easier. But no one has heard a word of Jonathan since the last letter. I must only pray to God for patience. Lucy is more excitable than ever, but is otherwise well. Last night was very threatening, and the fishermen say that we are in for a storm. I must try to watch it and learn the weather signs. Today is a grey day, and the sun, as I write, is hidden in thick clouds high over Kettleness. Everything is grey, except the green grass, which seems like emerald amongst it. Grey earthy rock, grey clouds, tinged with sunbursts as the far edge hang over the grey sea, into which the sand points stretch like grey fingers. The sea is tumbling in over the shallows and the sandy flats with a roar, muffled in the sea mist drifting inland. The horizon is lost in a grey mist. All is vastness, the clouds are piled up in giant rocks, and there's a brool over the sea that sounds like some presage of doom. Dark figures are on the beach here and there, and sometimes half shrouded in the mist, and seem men like trees walking. The fishing boats are racing for home, and the rise and dip in the ground swell as they sweep into the harbor, bending it to the scoopers. Here comes old Mr. Swales. He is making straight for me, and I can see by the way he lifts his head that he wants to talk. I have been quite touched by the change in the poor old man. When he sat down beside me, he said in a very gentle way, "I want to say something to you, miss." I could see he was not at ease, so I took this poor old wrinkled hand in mine and asked him to speak fully. So he said, leaving his hand in mine, "I'm afraid, my dearie, that I must have shocked you by all the wicked things I've been saying about the dead and such like for weeks past, but I didn't mean them, and I want you to remember that when I'm gone, we old folks that be daffled and with one foot above the crook hole don't altogether like to think of it, and we don't want to feel scarred of it, and that's why I've took to making light of it, so that I cheer up my own heart a bit. But Lord love you, miss, I ain't afraid of dying, not a bit. Only I don't want to die if I can help it. My time must be nigh at hand now, for I be odd, and 100 years is too much for any man to expect. And I'm so nigh that the old man is already weaving his skite. You see, I can't get out of the habit of coughing about it all once. The shafts will whack as they're used to. Some day soon the angel of death will sound his trumpet for me, but don't you dull and greed, my dearie." For he saw that I was crying. "If he should come this very night, I refuse to answer his call, for life be, after all, only a waiting for something else than what we're doing, and death be all that we can rightly depend on. But I'm content, for if it's coming to we, my dearie, and coming quick, it may be coming while we be looking and wondering. Maybe it's in that wind out over the sea that's bringing it loss and wreck and sore distress and sad hearts. Look, look," he cried suddenly. "There's something in that wind that goes beyond that sound and looks and tastes and smells like death. It's in the air, I feel it coming. Lord, make me answer cheerful when my call comes." He held up his arms devoutly and raised his head. His mouth moved as though he were praying. After a few minutes' silence, he got up, shook hands with me and blessed me, and said goodbye and hobbled off. It all touched me and upset me very much. I was glad when the Coast Guard came along with his spyglass under his arm. He stopped to talk with me, and as he always does, but all the time kept looking at a strange ship. "I can't make her out," he said. "She's a Russian by the look of her, but she's knocking about in the queerest way. She doesn't know her mind a bit. She seems to see the storm coming and can't decide whether to run up north in the open or to put in here. Look, there again, she steered mightily strangely, for she doesn't mind the hand on the wheel, changes about with every puff of wind. We'll hear more of her before it's time tomorrow." Well. Strange ship that steers weirdly, you say. Also, That is an honest question. If anyone actually knows why, usually or in a lot of languages, ships are always referred to them as female, I would just like to know that. I would just like to know where their tradition comes from. But yeah, seems like the Demeter is very close in. And also, kudos to the old man to actually apologizing, be like, hey, I know I scared you with this. I know it was a bit much. That was on me. I'm an old guy. I don't fear death, but I have a weird relationship with it. Do not worry. But I will see you again soon. And then we might finally find out what happened to the meter at last. Until then.